Did anyone else feel when Jinbei said we're going to the green room that he meant, yo, let's just spark up some nice ganja real quick because we're all gonna die? This chapter of One Piece, couple of things to talk about. So for starters, let's talk about seemingly Jinbei's role has been confirmed. I believe he's going to be the helmsman, and he's kind of rocking the ship and making sure it gets on course or not drowning and sinking and shit like that. So it's seemingly confirmed 100% Jinbei is now officially a part of the crew, right? I mean, I guess we just need him and Luffy to say, yeah, okay, we're together, let's do this, it's done deal or whatever. But seems as though Jinbei is 100% with the crew now. So we have officially the newest member of the Straw Hats, even though it's been since Fishman Island, the end of Fishman Island, that Luffy asked him. He said, yeah, I will, but I need to handle things. Now it seems as though the shit that he's handled completely done and he's 100% on board. But that's to say if he doesn't die in all of this shit, because Big Mom is on a warpath right now. That big bitch right now, she is like a big bitch that ain't get no dick in 6 years and is hungry as fuck because she is just going mad. So after last week's cliffhanger with the Straw Hats basically running from death or trying to escape death with Big Mom's giant fucking tsunami coming at their ship, it was interesting to see Jinbei really putting in his input because, okay, if we got everybody having their roles, Usopp's the sniper and, Brook is the musician and Frankie's the shipwright, everybody has their roles. Now Jinbei having his role and he worked it very well. This was a great example of why they would need somebody in that position to begin with, because he rocked them straight in through the waves so that way they didn't sink or whatnot. Really interesting stuff there and a good way to showcase how they evaded once again Big Mom taking them out. And of course now they're not necessarily in the clear, but at the very least for right now they kind of bamboozled Big Mom and them, even though Big Mom, she's shown that there's a reason she's a Yonko. Look at what the crew is going through. We haven't seen the Straw Hats struggle like this, I want to say, throughout the entirety of New World so far. I mean, Luffy did struggle very heavily against Doflamingo. I'd argue if Zoro was with him, it would have been a different story. As far as Luffy and Zoro versus Doflamingo would have been a different story, but nevertheless, I think this is the hardest struggle they've had by far thus far since we've gotten the time skip in the New World, because it's like, damn, even after everything, okay, the Straw Hats kind of get to somewhat safety, they're riding, they went into the green room and whatnot, it still feels as though they're still in danger. And then Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, bro, just seeing what's going on with him versus Katakuri right now, which thank God they got rid of that dog tooth shit. No more dog tooth Katakuri. Thankfully, Dogtooth R.I.P. bro, you was a real one, but it's Katakuri, okay? So we got Luffy versus Katakuri, and the interesting thing about this chapter that kind of threw me off for a second, I didn't understand it, and maybe I'm still misunderstanding it, and if I am, then please correct me in the comments, even though you guys already are. You're gonna tell me, you fucking moron, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know that One Piece. But from my understanding, when Luffy was getting his ass kicked yet again, and he was talking to the Straw Hats through the glass, he starts bursting out in laughter, right? Or he doesn't necessarily burst out, but he goes from he looks like he's in agony, like if he just had a fucking building shoved up his ass or something. And then he goes from that to laughing hysterically, looking like a dork in a way, right? So you kind of what the fuck's going on there? My interpretation of that was he doesn't want his crew to know just how much pain he's in. You see him squeezing his mouth and shit like that while he's talking to them or whatever, or while he's, with them in sight that they can hear and shit like that. He's squeezing his mouth and then he's in real bad agony. Then all of a sudden he's laughing. And I think he just did that so that his crew doesn't realize Luffy's getting his ass kicked. And he doesn't want to worry them anymore because they're ready in a big worry. They got Big Mom on their heels, hot on their heels. They don't need to think, yo. So on top of that, we have this giant fat ass bitch that is strong as hell on our ass. Then our fucking captain is getting raped by one of, you know what I'm saying? So I think that if that is why Luffy did that, that was a very interesting and very leadership way. And that shows growth right there. That shows some definite development on Luffy's part as a captain, and as he should be. A captain should definitely, well, I don't want to say should do that, like fake it or whatever, but if he's caring enough about his crew and he wants to show leadership and show them you know what I'm saying, this is what you got to do, then by all means, great development on Luffy's side. And again, it's just this is not what I expected. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying I am surprised because I didn't think that Luffy was going to get his ass kicked this bad against Katakuri. I thought we was actually going to have a decent battle, maybe to the level of Doflamingo. I would argue right now that it's way more one-sided than the Luffy versus Doflamingo fight. Luffy versus Doflamingo, once he went Gear 4th, he was pushing Doflamingo back, right? And I guess Luffy hasn't necessarily gone all out against Katakuri yet. I'm still waiting for him to get his second breath, so to speak, and really go in. But as of right now, throughout this fight, Luffy's just been getting bodied. He's been getting his ass kicked, and Katakuri just keeps on top of him like a monster. It's like, this is one-sided, and again, very unexpected, but I like it. I mean, as a fan of the character, I'm like, oh, I don't want to see my boy go down like this. What's going on? But from a storytelling perspective, from, you know, just looking at it critically and whatnot, it's great. It's great that Luffy is really struggling like this. Although, again, I would argue is like, this is going to be the man that's supposed to be the king of the pirates. Struggling against another Yonko, absolutely acceptable, because those are like the top tiers, right? What was more than that, aside from people in the world government and shit, right? So, against the Yonko, fine. But one of the Yonko's underlings, that's when it's like, we need another time skip. We absolutely need another time skip, to the point where there's no more struggling against these guys. The only people that, you know, you should have a fair fight with once we get another time skip is the Yonko. Because obviously, we already saw when Luffy went gear fourth and threw one of his greatest punches at Big Mom, the bitch was like, yo, trying to shove him up her vagina. That's how much it didn't fucking phase her, you know what I'm saying? So we already knew, completely outclassed by the Yonko, especially, you know, Big Mom just stood there, you know what I'm saying? But then on top of that, one of her underlings, Katakuri, this fucking monster, which, by the way, just a quick side note, I don't like what they did with the anime. I don't know how many people watch the anime, but if you've seen the opening, apparently Katakuri's hair is red, and I know that's a very trivial matter that shouldn't matter or whatever, but like, I don't really care for the red hair on Katakuri, just saying, just throwing that in there. But this chapter showcased that, once again, we need a time skip. We need more training. We need more time, because as of right now, Luffy is struggling with everything he has against Katakuri, and he's still on his knees. I don't even see how he's going to get out of this, other than what a lot of people are saying, because I asked the question, I want to say a week or two ago, a couple chapters ago maybe, or last week, I'm not sure, but I asked the question, how is Luffy going to get out of this, right? How is he going to be able, without it being bullshit, you know what I'm saying? A gear 5th is a possibility, I guess someone coming in to save him. A lot of people said him awakening his devil fruit ability, which again, I don't see what the hell that would be. You know, I can't even imagine what Oda's fathoming to make it. And I know it's going to be something really goofy, but it's still going to be cool at the end of the day, kind of like Gear 4th, or even Gear 3rd for that matter. They were kind of goofy, but then cool at the same time. And that's what I'm imagining we're going to see with Luffy if he does awaken it. But if he does, my gosh, because you got to think Katakuri probably already has an awakening too. You know what I'm saying? If Doflamingo had it, Katakuri's going to have it too. So it's going to be a really, really bad neck and neck fight. But as of right now, my boy's down. And it's great. Honestly, this chapter, the way it's showcased, okay, for starters, Jinbei's role, it's legit. You know what I'm saying? He's the newest member of the Strawhat Pirates. I might even title that right now, because even though that's not necessarily the most important thing, I think Jinbei rocked it and showed that he's definitely deserving of being a part of Strawhat. Because, you know, this is a legendary crew, not even just in the context of the story, but as fans looking at it, this is a Straw Hat Pirate crew, you know what I'm saying? So you better be, but once again, Jinbei showed he deserves to be there. It's just a matter of, is he going to survive throughout all this, or is he going to be some sort of sacrificial martyr to this shit? You know what I'm saying? Because I can see Jinbei doing that too. Kind of curious what you guys think about this chapter though, for starters. Luffy versus Katakuri. Does this definitely represent between him not even being able to face Big Mom in Gear 4th, and then him struggling right now just to get on his fucking feet against Katakuri? Do we need another time skip? Is that the answer right now, to be able to eventually, when the big war goes down in One Piece, be able to stand on our own 2 feet and not have to struggle against even people that aren't top tier? You know, Katakuri, he's very strong, but he's still not top tier like on the Yonko level, and we need to be able to take these type of dudes out in order to defeat the world government. And what do you think about Jinbei, official, helmsman, whipping it, bro? We're going to the green room tonight. Your overall thoughts of the chapter? Honestly, very good chapter, very interesting. I just, even with that ending with Luffy saying that he's not gonna die here, it's like, but then what are you gonna do, bro? Also, it's gonna be a long wait. Yet again, breaks, which I don't like to really talk about this either, because it's a recurring thing, but Oda needs his breaks. As much as we love One Piece, I talk about, if you follow my Twitter, I talk about One Piece all the time. I love One Piece, but I also care about Oda's health, and I want to see One Piece end correctly, so I'm fine with the breaks as always, but it is going to be a harsh one. Like, especially with Luffy on his knees, I caught a curry right now, it's like, oh, it's going to be a long break. But that's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Somebody help Luffy. He's dying. Help!